All right, thanks for joining. So, thanks for joining me on a Sunday evening. I'm really excited about this Sunday evening motivational business kind of periscope that we're going to put together here. And tell me, I've got 2 people on right now. I know more people will be coming on soon. I'm starting this a little bit earlier than I thought. It was going to be 8:30, but I thought I'd start at 8 o'clock. Where are you guys from? Hit me up, let me know. And if it's your first time, let me know if it's your first time with one of my periscopes. Andre, thanks for joining. Hey, Patch Man. Let me show you the boss here. There's my little dog, Patches. Say hello to everybody, Patches. Yeah. He's good. He's a good dog. All right. So my name is DJ Valori, and if you're new to my periscopes, I am an entrepreneur. I'm not one that just talks about it. I actually live it. I've created multiple businesses throughout the last 10, 15 years. My latest rendition, if you will, is a multi-million-dollar multinational company that's called Lodging Interactive, which is a digital marketing agency working with hotels and resorts around the world. And Blue Eye QC, thanks for joining. On this Periscope, what I want to talk about is, Sunday night business motivation, right? I don't have any books to sell, like I always say. I don't have any webinars I'm pitching like others, Grant Cardone and Gary Vaynerchuk and all these others out there that are talking about the hustle all the time. I'm here to tell you, no bullshit. Hey, Rosella, thanks for joining me. No bullshit, no nonsense advice, tips and tricks that I've learned over the last 10, 15 years in running the company and building a company with nothing. So what I want to talk about on tonight's episode, or Periscope, if you will, is talk about different things that you're going to need to get started in your business, right? One of the things that you definitely have to have is what I always call fire in the belly, right? AKA passion. You got to have passion if you're going to start your business. If you don't have the passion, you have no business starting a business. Then you're a wannapreneur, like Mark Cuban says, not an entrepreneur, right? So you got to have passion. You got to have the fire in the belly, because it's so important, because that fire in the belly is what's going to drive you. Hey, teacher Jen Young, thanks for joining. Where are you joining us from? Let us know. Empowered Solutions, thanks for joining us again. I appreciate you coming back to my Periscopes. If you're new to the scopes that I do them 3-4 times. Hey, Marcos, good to see you. Hope you got on your bike today. It was a beautiful day, really hot. Lil Con01, thanks for joining. Hello from Winnipeg. All right, it's probably teacher Jen Young. Must be really nice and cool up there in Winnipeg. Really hot tonight. I'm actually down on the Jersey Shore for a couple of days, and it is hot and humid, almost hit 100 today. In any event, let's get back to what we're talking about. So for those, it was very hot there as well in Winnipeg? Okay. Hey, Ryan, thanks for joining. So people are starting to come in. So what I want to do is talk about things you're going to need as an entrepreneur, and I'm going to share these things with you that I've actually lived in the last 10, 15 years in running my businesses. Paul, thanks for joining us as well. So the first thing you want to do is, follow me on Periscope if you don't follow me already. Share this scope with your friends if you like it throughout the session. That would be great. I want to talk about the fire in the belly, which is what I call passion, right? And people talk about having passion, and some people just don't have it for their product or service. If you don't have passion, you have no business being an entrepreneur. You're a wannapreneur, which is what Mark Cuban quoted, a term that I like to use. Because passion is so important, because it's going to drive you through your ups and downs, right? Especially your downs. And it's been said before many times that running a business is like a roller coaster, right? You're going to have highs and you're going to have lows. And those highs are going to be, whoa, hands in the air like on a roller coaster. You're going to have a great time. You're going to land new business. You have new customers. You're going to make money. You're going to have great employees, great loyal employees. And that's when you're at the high, right? And you're running on that roller coaster going up. But as we know, what comes up must come down, right? So you will have some lows as well. And that's where the passion, hey, Columns 23, thanks for joining. If you're new to our Periscope here, please let me know where you're from so I can share, give you a shout out. But in any event, you got to have that passion to drive you through those lows, which will happen, right? You're always going to have highs and lows. And a low in business would be, you lose a customer. Middletown, New Jersey. Oh, cool. You're close to us. I'm in Point Pleasant Beach right now, down the shore. You're going to have Lowe's. And Justin, thanks for joining. Lloydminster, Alberta here. All right, Alberta's in the house. Your lows are going to be when you lose a customer, which could be not a fault of you or your business, right? It could be an outside circumstance. It could be that the customer's company was acquired by another company, and they have a relationship with a different vendor. So you're going to lose that business. It's okay. You got to move on. And when I started the company, I was really get upset when I lose a piece of business because it was devastating, right? And now I'm to the point where I don't dwell on it, right? It takes me all of 10 seconds. Art fan, Soul, thanks for joining us. 10 seconds it takes, and I'm over it. You got to get over it. And that is, I'll tell you, Paul, in a minute, what my business I'm in. You got to get over that loss very quickly and just move on. And that's where the passion comes in, the fire in the belly, which is what I talk about. So the business I'm in, just to recap, we have a lot of new people on the scope. My name is DJ Valori. Thanks for all the hearts. If you like this, share it with your friends. Definitely follow me on Periscope. I am an entrepreneur. No problem, Paul. I'm an entrepreneur, no bullshit, no nonsense type of guy. I've actually started many companies, and this last company that I've been with now as the founder and CEO for 11, 12 years is a multi-million-dollar company. Got a lot of cash flow coming in, a lot of customers. We're a multinational company. The company we're in it's a digital marketing agency. So we work with hotels and resorts as it relates to internet marketing, social media marketing, reputation management, all that stuff. Company's Lodging Interactive, Lodging Interactive.com if you're interested. But I'm not here to promote that, but that gives you a little bit of a background on who I am. And the whole purpose with the Periscopes that I do 3 or 4 times a week is to share stories and share what it's like to be an entrepreneur and things that you need to consider when you want to start your own company and become an entrepreneur. So the first thing is definitely the passion, right, and the fire in the belly, because you can have a great product, a great service, and if you don't have that passion to drive through. I'm not so much like Gary Vee. Gary Vee has a lot of passion, of course. Gary Vaynerchuk, for those who don't know. I follow him. I learn from him. I don't agree with everything that he says or does, but he's a good hustle guy, if you will, right? He always talks about the hustle. But you got to balance your life, your business, and your life, right? And your health as well. If you don't balance those 3 things, you're not going to make it through, right? You got to have as much of a balance as possible because all of that's important. So it's not all about working your ass off all the time. You got to work smart, and you got to maximize the time that you're awake in balancing it with your family life and your health as well. Justin, you can't say that kind of stuff because all you're going to do is get blocked, my man. So it's not cool to talk like that on these Periscopes. But I'll let you slide on this one. But one more and boom, you're out of here. That's all right, Justin. It happens. It happens. No worries. So anyway, the passion we talked about, you got to have that. Running your business, like everybody says, is like a roller coaster. You're going to have ups and downs. But I want you to think about this. Yeah, Roselle, that's right. Balance is so important. Technology that we have these days, when I started the company 15 years ago, we didn't have the technology that we have today. And the technology is so important these days because you can start a company and communicate with people all over the world to market your company. And you can, I'll get to your question, Justin, in a second. That's a good question. But you can communicate with people via Skype, email, instant message, chat, social media, you know it, right? It's there. You can communicate. It's free. So you got to leverage those platforms to get your message out. So that's one of the things you definitely want to do is be comfortable with the internet and be comfortable with the technology that enables you to communicate and get your message out. So, Justin asked a question, how do I become an entrepreneur and make $1 million? Well, it's never about chasing the money, right? Even though successful entrepreneurs make a lot of money, right? Because they're passionate, they follow their dreams, but it's not about the money. The money's like secondhand. It just comes with the turf, if you will, right? And all the perks and the nice cars and all this other stuff. So if you focus, all right, here, Justin, my man, I got to let you go. I'm going to block you because that's not cool. block user. Sorry, buddy, you're gone. Sorry about that, guys. I had to block that guy because he was just being rude and obnoxious. So when you block someone, bad Justin, not the good one. Oh, shit, did I blocked the wrong one? No. Okay. So listen, you got to have, to make money, it's going to come, I got thrown off there a little bit, but you're the good guy. Okay, Justin, Cosmo, you're good. The money comes, it's secondhand, right? It'll come when you launch your business and you're successful and all that stuff. But if you think about, launching a business just to make money, don't do it, because that's not what it's all about. So, you've got crowdfunding like Kickstarter. I've never used those personally, but you can certainly put out your spec or your business outline, business plan, product description, etc. On those sites to try to raise some money. I didn't have to do that. The way I started the business was I was actually employed, and I recommend everybody does that. Start your business while you're still employed, so that your current employer funds your startup, if you will, right? As long as it's not a conflict of interest, you should be able to do that without a problem. So I was basically working, 9 to 5, if you will, getting home, spending time with my family, eating dinner, seeing the kids, and then at 10 o'clock, after the 10 o'clock news, I remember I would go in the extra bedroom and actually work my ass off until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And no, I've never used money from the government to help fund my business, but you can get that in the U.S. through the form of Small Business Administration, SBA-backed loans. You can go that route. I've never had the intent to do that or the need to do that. So going back to the passion and my hours that I kept, right? I would go and work from 10 o'clock, 10:30 in the evening till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and force myself to go to sleep, because I basically, bootstrap is the way to go, Justin, that's right. Because I had the passion, that fire in the belly, and I still have it today. Let me tell you how I landed my first customer, okay? This is really important. Pay attention to this. It was about 1:30 in the morning. I forget what day it was, whether it was a weekday or whatever, but it was a month after I started my company. I read this press release, and this is no bullshit. I'm telling you like it is, right? I read a press release about a hotel company, management company. Sorry, Art Fan, you're having a problem with your connection. Hopefully that'll change. But if anybody else is having issues with the connection, let me know. But it was 1:30 in the morning. I read this press release, right, that quoted the president of this particular hotel company. And it listed his email right in the press release as the press contact. So I basically wrote him an email at 1:30 in the morning, agreeing with and supporting his statement and things he was saying in his press release. And within 25 minutes or less, he actually responded back to me. So now it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and he said, hey, thanks for reaching out to me. I'm going to have my director of marketing get in touch with you next week, and we'll see what we can do. Because I reached out to him and saying, hey, I agree with what you're saying. I think it's great. Would love to hear more about it and work together. It's not working for you? Okay, sorry about that. But in any event, so I was able to capture someone's attention, and thanks, Justin, and it kickstarted my business. I landed our first large customer because of that communication that I had. In the middle of the night, I took basically the initiative to contact this person, use the technology, the email, and it set me up for a great opportunity to gain the business, right? So it's important that you put in the work, right? Being a successful business person doesn't come just by luck, but it's so odd, as they say, the harder you work, the luckier you get. And that is so true. I've really come to realize that because, I noticed for myself, when I push and push and push and work just a little bit harder than I normally do, I get all these rewards and things that are happening to me that are so positive. So it's really important that you push back. Yeah, timing and work ethic are great. That's right, Rosella. And it's important that you keep pushing and pushing, and it will come. A cold call or email goes a long way. That's right. And Justin, you know what really works these days that we're doing more and more of is actually snail mail, because a lot of salespeople are using LinkedIn, social media, email like I did, 15 years ago to get to the person. There's a lot of noise out there. What's really working well to get new leads and get the attention, hey, Tony, thanks for joining us, is actually sending out snail mail. And I'm talking about, we call it smart mail in our company. We'll send out an email. Check out this tip. This really, really works, okay? Pay attention. This is a big, big tip. When you send a letter out So let's say you're targeting the vice president of marketing at a particular company, right? You want to do business with. You write a letter to that person, and here's the trick. You put CC on the bottom of that letter, you put that person's boss, okay? So like the president of the company. So you're writing a letter to the target prospect you want, the marketing director, CC the president of that company. What do you think is going to happen when that marketing director gets your letter? You know he or she are going to read that letter, right? Is going to read that letter because they don't want their boss down the hall to come down and say, hey, did you see this letter from, DJ Valori? What do you think about it? So they're going to be on the ball. They're going to read your mail because they don't want to look like an idiot and like they're not doing their jobs by responding or being aware of a letter that was sent to their boss, right? So that's called smart mail. Use that. It works really, really well. There, pay attention for sure. That's right. So go to your target. Thanks, Rosella. You go to your target, write to them, and then CC their boss, send out the 2 letters at the same time. To the boss as well as to the person you're going after. No one wants to lose face. That's right. So that's really important. That works really well as far as, the harder you work, the luckier you become. Work habits are definitely something that I've learned, like I said, the harder you work, the luckier you get, type of thing. The weekends, I believe, are for many struggling and starting entrepreneurs, is to basically work on the weekends to catch up and tie up loose ends and plan your next week, right? Don't wait until Monday morning to figure out what you're going to do Monday and the rest of the week. Get it together on the weekend, right? So while your competitors are out there relaxing at the beach or, enjoying some time off, it's important that you have some time off, okay? But don't forget that you got to work too, right? Until you can make it and have a steady company and, with cash flow coming in, customers, happy clients, happy employees, that's when you have a stable company. You can kind of take it easy a bit, but you always got to keep pushing. And that's where our company's at too, and myself. We have a steady company now. We have great customers. If we lose a few customers here and there, no big deal. We have such diversification in our client base, which is another topic we'll talk about one day, is diversification. You don't want to have all your clients in one basket because if they go, so does your business, right? So you want to diversify that. So that's really key. Thanks for the heart. Remember, if you're new to the scopes, follow me because I don't know when I do these things. I just pop in and out a few times a week. Since I run the company and I have a hectic travel schedule, I never really know when I'm going to do this. Keep up or get out of the way. That's right, Rosella. Move it or lose it is another way of putting it, right? So here's the thing. One thing I want to talk about too are customers, right? Let's talk about customers for a while. We all know that without customers, you have no business. Without business, you have no employees, and you're done, right? So you have to have customers. But is it okay to fire a customer? I'll ask you that question. Who out there has an answer for that? Geronimo, thanks for joining us. We're entrepreneurs here. We're talking about small business, no bullshit, no nonsense type of advice here. Justin says, yes, it's okay to fire customers. Anybody else want to step up? Empowered, I say yes, absolutely. So here's the thing. I fired a customer for one reason alone. You have to, that's right. This customer was belligerent, condescending, and rude to my people and myself on conference calls, etc. And they really thought they were like really up here, right? Way above me and our company. And the way they treated our employees, as well as their own on their conference calls, this guy would insult people, curse at them, really disrespectful. And when it starts to affect, hey Tom, thanks for joining. When it starts to affect your own people, your own employees, their morale, and where they don't like to come to work anymore because they have to deal with this nightmare client, it's time to say bye-bye to that client. And in fact, that's what I did. I actually called them up and said, you know what? It's been great knowing you, but you know what? We don't need your business. Take it somewhere else. You're disrespectful, you're condescending, you're abusive to our people as well as your people. You don't need that kind of crap, right? Life's too short. You got to have fun. If you're going to build your own company, pick and choose who you're going to work with. And that's a big thing for our company. When we get involved in new sales and new prospects, I get involved all the time because I want to know that the person we're going to be doing business with for the next 5, 6, 7, sometimes 10 years, we have the same customers. We want to make sure that we're aligned and they're nice people to do business with. Because life's too short. You don't need someone who's going to be abusive to your employees and your company, right? And disrespectful to you and your company. So I agree with you guys. It is okay to fire customers from time to time. Don't make it a habit. Thanks, Empowered Solutions, for joining again. I guess the connection was a little off there. So life's too short. That's right. Thanks for saying that. You have to enjoy the business you're in, be passionate about it, or else it just won't be successful. Does anybody have any questions? Are you guys starting any businesses, or why are you listening to me this evening? What's motivating you to get in and listen to me on this Periscope? You got to enjoy life. That's right. You only go around once. Well, some people think you go around more than once, but are you doing the social media marketing or marketing in general? Yeah, so we do a little bit of both, but it's mostly social media marketing for our clients, Justin. And we'll help them with their Facebook, Twitter, all the social media channels. We also build websites for them, do optimization, and so forth. What was your startup business that you had? You couldn't sleep. Okay, well, hopefully I'm keeping you up a little bit. And you're learning something, right? It's all about learning. Always be learning. That's another thing, too. I love to learn new things and webinars. I travel to seminars whenever I can to hear other experts out there. I follow people online, etc. Just kind of see how they're ticking and what they're talking about and teach. That's right. How are you measuring your performance? So the performance of our company, the way we measure it is by the number of customers we have, happy customers, right? And we definitely measure the success of our company also on our staff. That's really important. You got to have loyal people, and I'm 50. You have to have loyal people and people that like and enjoy your company that you can trust. And that's a great measurement for what I believe is a measurement for your company. Cash flow is always good, too, to make sure. Obviously, you know how much money you're making, right? If you're making more over last year, we always look at our year-to-date position with our finances, specifically performance for your clients. Okay, so let me just finish my thought there. So I'm always comparing and looking at our financials year-to-date, how much revenue we had come in this year versus last year, same period. Thanks, Marcos, for joining. And also look at the expenses line, right, this year versus last year. So yeah, I am married and I have a family, so I balance all of this stuff together. I have a very supportive wife, without her, couldn't do this because she lets me do my thing, right? And that's really important to have a clear mind, not have any marital issues that get in the way, that kind of thing, if you can avoid it. It's not always possible, but you got to do that. Going back to Justin's questions, performance. So for a performance basis for our customers, we look at their return on their investment, right? So if they're spending X amount of money with us, we want to make sure that we're returning X plus factor, right? So we always look at the return on the investment on any campaign that we do for them, tracking reservations booked, revenue booked. Do you think marriage is important for business? It's important that you have a partner, a spouse, or someone that you can lean on in those down times of that roller coaster. But it's not necessary. I mean, if you've got the drive and the passion and the fire in the belly that I always talk about, you can make it happen, right? You're going to eat, breathe, and sleep your business because you're going to be so passionate about it. So being married is not essential, but it definitely helps so you have someone to talk to and to share your thoughts with as share your day, if you will, as well. So any other questions? What kind of businesses are you guys starting? Justin, what kind of business are you in? Absolutely not essential. That's right. And there was someone from Winnipeg, too. The name escapes me. I'm sorry. What kind of business are you in as well? Let's talk about your business for a little bit. You're a sales girl. Okay. Well, what are you selling? Everybody's a salesperson, right? Some people are better salespeople than others. That's all. But everybody's been selling forever. Consultancy, software consultancy. Okay, cool, Justin. That's great. That's pretty competitive too, right? Analytical instruments. Ooh, that sounds high tech. What kind of instruments are those analytical instruments are you selling? You also provide marketing and consultings. Okay. HPLC, GC. Okay. That's over my head. I really don't know what that means. Sorry. Maybe I should know that, but I don't know that. Let's talk about education. Think about things I should know that I don't know. Education, college education. I did a Periscope on this a few weeks back. College is not necessary, right? A formal education is not a major component on being a successful entrepreneur or business leader, right? It's certainly, if you have the ability and the finances to go to college, I recommend you do go, right? You definitely need to do that. But if you're not really enthralled and really happy with school in general, like I was, I could barely make it through high school, to be honest with you. In fact, I failed my English class. Do you think technical sales are easier? Easier than what? I mean, technical sales, as long, it's all about showing ROI and building that relationship with the customer. It's not so much what you're selling, but if you have a relationship with the customer, which takes time, by the way, it doesn't happen in a couple of weeks, and you work those channels, and we can talk about how to build relationships if you'd like. I can give you tips on that. But going back to the college story, if you have the passion and the drive and you don't feel college is for you, then don't go. Don't waste your time and money, right? Product knowledge trumps all else in sales. That's right. That's true. You got to know your product, right, and know what you're selling. And as far as building your sales channel, your funnel, if you will, building those relationships, adding value to customers, you do it by working the relationship. You don't do that by sending out an email and saying, hey, what do you think of this? Or, we can help you. You got to start lightly, right? And so you build relationships by sending articles of interest, potentially, doing mailers that we talked about earlier. But if you see something on the internet, an article that's within your business and you're trying to get a particular customer, send them that article and say exactly, provide value up front. Just like what we're doing here too. Hopefully I'm helping people. We're having a good discussion about business. We're providing value. No one's paying for this. I mean, it's stuff they don't teach you in school, but it's real life business, entrepreneurial stuff. But you want to build relationships and value up front with that customer, and then go in for the close, right? Like Gary Vaynerchuk says, jab, jab, right hook, and that's when you make that sale. Why are you doing this? Well, I'm doing this because I like to help people. That's in my personality, and I've been successful, right? So I'm not one guy who's writing a book that I want you to buy on Amazon so I can make my commission. I don't have a webinar that I'm trying to promote. Exactly, the jab, jab. That's right. That's Gary Vaynerchuk's, and then the right hook. Boom. I'm doing it because I like to help people. And I've learned so much in 15 years of being an entrepreneur that I know it's stuff they don't teach you in school, in college, in business classes. You learn by doing, right? Here's one story I'll share with you. When I started in 2004, it was August 2004, I had just been fired from my job, that corporate job. And I was making six figures. It was a nice, comfortable, I'm a Scorpio. I'd just been fired from my job, and I said, you know what? I'm going to make this happen. And I used to go out to New York and make sales calls, right? And here's the story, right? And this is really interesting and learn from it. When I'd go in, I wanted to save my money, right? So I took the public bus from New Jersey into New York, and then I walked from client to client, prospect to prospect, making cold calls. I had no appointments or anything like that. I'd walk into the hotel, ask for the manager, drop my card, and see if I could see the manager and make a quick call. And I did that, and I had, my feet were sore, man, I'll tell you that much. When I got home, I had blisters. My shoes were worn out. I had holes at the bottom of my shoes. No bullshit, this is true. Then when I started getting customers, I went into the city. I would take the train versus the bus, the public bus, which is really dirty, smelly, hot, and slow. I take the train. It's still dirty, but at least they had air conditioning, right? And it was nonstop from New Jersey into Manhattan. And then I'd take the subway, which isn't really that clean. Females don't do that. Well, why not? You should do that. You got to hustle. And you go out and make those sales calls. And I made those calls, and then I started, paying for taxis when I was there because I was starting to make a little bit of money, right? And now when I go into New York, I drive in because it's more comfortable for me, right? I feel I've accomplished enough where I don't have to take public transportation to get anywhere. I could just drive where I'm going and park. You have to be a go-getter. That's right. Exactly right, Justin. You have to be a go-getter and go out and get the business. It's not going to come to you, right? So many people say that all the time. You got to go get the business. So now when I go into the city, I drive in and I park wherever I'm going, and it cost me a fortune. I was in New York a few weeks ago. It cost me $75 for parking. Is that ridiculous? I've got a big SUV, so I guess you pay extra for that in New York. But that was totally crazy. I would never, 10 years, 15 years ago when I started the company, I would never imagine spending that kind of money on parking. But now I'm at a point where, I can do that because I continually push and grow with the business and push for more and more. I can sit back and relax and let the company kind of run itself. I have very capable people who I trust very much and can run the company. But That's not how I am. I continually push and try to get more business, more opportunities for me, as well as for the rest of the people in the company as well, right? So it's all about growth and continuing your growth trajectory as you build your company. Diversification in products is also very important. When I started the company, we basically just did websites. Then we did search engine marketing, right? Optimization. Then pay-per-click marketing, paid ad. Then we launched, how large is the staff? We have about 50 people. And then we launched our social media marketing division called Commingle, where we do reputation management and social media marketing. And now we just recently launched all right, see you later. Thanks for joining, Virgo. Hopefully we'll see you soon again. Remember, follow me on Periscope. Then we launched just recently a new service called Social Voices. And just 2 weeks ago, we launched a new service called Hotel Site Express. So we're constantly coming up and thinking of new ideas, which is definitely something you should be doing as a business owner, right? Don't sit back and try to think that your one product or service is going to ride you through and grow you into a multi-million-dollar company. You got to be innovative and change with the times. Even if it's something that you never thought you would do, sometimes you just got to do it because that's where the market's going. And our Hotel Site Express product is for smaller hotels. It's something I never really wanted to do because budgets were not there for small hotels to work with us. We get paid by retainer, so I steered away from small business opportunities. But now, through a new product and modifying what we do, we now have a product for smaller hotels and customers. So we cover the whole gamut. So that's really important. Or else you become Circuit City, Radio Shack. That's right. And Crazy Eddie, if you remember that guy with the big deals and everything. So yeah, you got to diversify. So for sure. So anyway, I think I'm going to wrap this up. It's been great this evening. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, follow me on Periscope so that when I do them, you'll get them. Usually I'm in my car or in between meetings. I don't schedule these usually. And then we can have this chat again. Thank you so much. Thanks, Justin, for joining this evening and being interactive with me. I appreciate that. And we'll see you soon, okay? Take care. Bye now.